Top 10 Poorest Countries in Africa 2021. Welcome to the Exploring. Thanks for watching. In this video, we shall be looking at the top 10 poorest countries in Africa in 2021. Africa is a rich continent when it comes to natural resources, but due to bribery, corruption and mismanagement of most of the continent's natural resources, the continent is currently the poorest in the world, with most of its inhabitants living below the poverty line of less than $1 per day. The United Nations Development Programme sets various indicators in its Human Development Index to measure poverty in Africa and all other countries in the world. This includes life expectancy, average school attendance period, as well as per capita income. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and turn notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. Going by the nominal GDP per capita, here are the top 10 poorest countries in Africa as of 2021. Number 10. Niger. GDP per capita $510. Niger is a West African landlocked nation with a population of about 22.4 million people, with Niamey as its capital city. Over 80% of the country's land area is covered by the Sahara Desert. The non-desert sections of the country are threatened by frequent periods of drought and also increasing desertification. Niger's economy is mainly based on subsistence, with some export of raw materials like uranium ore and a few agricultural commodities. Niger is one of the poorest countries in Africa. High fertility rate, poor health infrastructure, lack of education, landlocked status, desert terrain, and overpopulation are only a few problems that result in the poor economic status of Niger. The country currently has a nominal per capita income of about $510, making it the 10th poorest country in Africa. Number 9. Sierra Leone. GDP per capita $505. Sierra Leone is a small country in West Africa. It is one of the poorest countries on the continent with a per capita income of about $505. Although the reasons for this are complicated, the country was ravaged by a brutal civil war from 1991 to 2002, which left its economy and infrastructure in shambles. Other reasons for the country's persistent poverty include widespread internal corruption, a lack of civil liberties, a lack of accessible education. Sierra Leone has a population of over 7 million people and currently ranks as the 9th poorest country in Africa. Number 8. Democratic Republic of Congo. GDP per capita $501. The Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, the 8th poorest country in Africa, is a Central African country, with a population of around 101 million people and a GDP of about 46.1 billion. DRC is also the continent's second largest country by area. Though nature has endowed DRC with rich natural resources, the country is politically unstable. The high rates of corruption, lack of infrastructure, long years of colonial and commercial exploitation have weakened the economy of the country. Raw minerals are the biggest exports of DRC, with China being the biggest export partner of the country and accepting more than 50% of the exports. DRC has a low ranking in the Human Development Index, ranking 176 amongst 187 countries of the world. Its average annual income is around $501. Number 7. Mozambique. GDP per capita $493. Mozambique is a southern African country with a population of just over 29 million. The country is one of the poorest and least developed countries in the world. However, with financial aid from organizations like the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund, Mozambique has exhibited a positive growth trend. Though Mozambique is one of the poorest countries in Africa, the country is however blessed with lots of natural resources. The minimum legal salary in Mozambique is around $60 per month. The country faces the problems of chronic child malnutrition, poor literacy rates, improper access to health facilities, and much more. Number 6. Madagascar. Nominal GDP per capita $471. Madagascar is an island nation and biodiversity hotspot located off the coast of Southeast Africa. Though Madagascar has a rich diversity of unique flora and fauna, it is one of the poorest countries in Africa from an economic point of view. Approximately 69% of the population of the country lives below the poverty level threshold of $1 a day. With a population of about 26.3 million people and a GDP of about $12.7 billion, Madagascar has a nominal GDP per capita of about $471, which is the 5th lowest on the continent. Number 5. Central African Republic. GDP per capita $448. The Central African Republic is amongst the poorest countries in Africa, with an average income of $448 every year. The country houses a population of around 4.7 million and encompasses a land area of 240,000 square miles. Though the country has a significant volume of mineral resources and sufficient quantities of arable land, it ranks 187th out of 188 nations in the Human Development Ranking. The landlocked geography and poor economic development of the Central African Republic hinders the export trade in the country. Though diamonds are the most important export of the country, accounting for more than 50% of the export revenue, it is estimated that a large part of it leaves the country clandestinely. The annual real GDP growth of the nation is only about 3%. Though the country is nearly self-sufficient in food crops, the high presence of tsetse fly makes the country poor in livestock quality. Number 4. Malawi. GDP per capita $367. Malawi is a landlocked country in the southern part of Africa that covers an area of 118,000 square kilometers and has a population of around 18.5 million. Malawi is among the world's least developed nations. Agriculture contributes to over 90% of the export revenues of the country. Previously, Malawi was heavily dependent on the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund for financial aid. The high rates of corruption prevalent in this country soon discouraged the international agencies from providing monetary help to the country. High rates of HIV/AIDS, poor literacy rates, poor health and hygiene, corruption, landlocked geography, and so on are some of the factors responsible for the country's low per capita income levels. Number 3. Somalia. GDP per capita $348. Somalia has the longest coastline on Africa's mainland. Its terrain consists of mainly plateaus, plains, and highlands. Hot conditions prevail year-round, with periodic monsoon winds and irregular rainfall. Somalia has an estimated population of around 15 million and has been described as Africa's most culturally homogeneous country. According to the CIA and the Central Bank of Somalia, despite experiencing civil unrest, Somalia has maintained a healthy informal economy, based mainly on livestock, remittance or money transfer companies, and telecommunications. Due to a dearth of formal government statistics and the recent civil war, it is difficult to gauge the size or growth of the economy. However, the country is still one of the poorest in Africa, with a nominal GDP per capita of $348. Number 2. Burundi. GDP per capita $310. Burundi is a landlocked country located in the eastern part of Africa, with a population of over 11.7 million people and a GDP of about $3.5 billion. The country currently ranks as the second poorest country in Africa. There are several reasons as to why Burundi is poor and hungry. Burundi has been involved in civil wars that have claimed thousands of lives and millions of refugees. Consequently, this has created an extremely unstable political environment which hinders agriculture, the backbone of Burundi's economy. Furthermore, there is the inefficient management of public finances and resources by the state. The state of Burundi regularly interferes with the economy. Economic freedom is not allowed, and this weakens entrepreneurial activity. The state also takes away private property from its citizens. Number 1. South Sudan. GDP per capita $246. As of 2021, South Sudan, a landlocked country in East Central Africa, is the poorest country in Africa, with the lowest GDP per capita. It is also the newest country in the world, having gotten its independence in 2011. It has a population of about 11 million people and a GDP of about 3.1 billion, making the country have a nominal GDP of about $246. South Sudan's poverty is due to the political and economic instability the country has suffered in recent years. The economy of South Sudan is one of the world's most underdeveloped, with South Sudan having little existing infrastructure and the highest maternal mortality and female illiteracy rates in the world as of 2011. The average South Sudanese lives below the poverty line with less than $1 a day. There you have it, explorers. Those were the top 10 poorest countries in Africa as of 2020. Thanks for watching this video. If you want us to cover any of your top 10 topics, leave your suggestions in the comments and we will do all to grant your request. Also, if you did enjoy this video, do all to give it a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe and share with your friends.